Well, howdy there, Internet students. It's Mr. Hermanson again. Today we're going to do lesson 1.2c, data and sign numbers. Now, data is like mean, median, things like that. Measures of central tendency. I'm going to just let you read this on your own because I don't feel like reading it. So pause right now and read that. Okay, so during Friday night's football game, Kanye carried the ball 15 times during the second half of the game. In the numbers below, a positive number indicates means a gain in yardage, and a negative number is a loss. So go ahead and do to the best of your ability. Answer the questions 1 through. Actually, why don't you go ahead and do 1 through 3, okay? And then you can do more if you want, and pause and then just check back and see if you got them right. So before you get too far, I thought you should check these answers. You should have got -7 is Kanye's worst carry, and 12 is Kanye's best carry. And the range of numbers go from the lowest to the highest, the maximum to the minimum. So from -7 through 12. Now, another way to show the range is by giving the value of the maximum minus the minimum, which would be 12 minus -7, which is, I'll just erase that right now. That would equal 19, right? 19 apart. So there's 19 values between his max carry and his minimum carry, highest and lowest. Okay, mode is the data value or values that occur most often. So you want to look for the number that occurs the most up there. And that would be his 2-yard carry. He had 3 of those, I believe. If you look closely, there's 1, 2, 3 of those. There's some other that there's 2 of. The median yardage, now to do that, we're going to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. So, you would number them like this, -7, and you can't forget any of them. So you have to list every one. And what I do is I cross them off as I go. That helps me know whether I have them all or not. There's 3 2s. Next. Then there's a 3 and 2 4s. Then there's 2 5s, 2 6s, and an 11 and a 12. Now, the median value is the one in the middle. If there's an odd number of numbers here, which I think there is, then the median will be the one right exactly in the middle. So one way you could do it is cross off the first and the last, and just keep doing that until you get only 1 left. Or there might be 2 left. If that's the case, I'll show you how to deal with that in a second. But it looks like we ended up with 4 left over. So the median value is 4. What that means is based on those values, which one is right in the middle. Okay, and it's 4. Now, mean is actually an arithmetic way of figuring out the average. To find the mean, you do the total. And you divide that by how many carries there are, which is 15. Okay? So the total, you have to add all these up. -7 and -7 is -14, -17, plus 2 is -15, -13, -11, and 3 is -8, and 8 is 0, and 10 is 10, and 12 is 22, and 11 is 33, and 12 is 45 is the total. Divided by 15 equals 3. So the average carry is 3 yards. Well, the arithmetic average, which we call the mean. Okay? The median is also an average. It's the one right in the middle. All right. Let's move on here. The maximum is the largest number in the data set. So go ahead, you guys, find the maximum. Find the minimum. Do 7 and 8. Pause and find your answer. So if all these numbers were on a number line, you would pick the one for the maximum that's furthest to the right. And for the minimum, you would pick the one that's furthest to the left. Okay? Now, there can be more than one mode. Or no mode at all if there's no number that occurs more than any other number. So check these out and see if you can find what the mode is or the modes. And if there is none, in other words, there's no number that occurs any more than any other one, then write no mode. So go ahead and do that. Okay, you should have found that -3, 5, and 9 all occur 3 times. So this is trimodal because it has 3 modes. And then in the second one, you should have found that there aren't any modes because there's no number that occurs more than once. All right, so on this next number 10, we're going to find out how to find the median when there's an even number of values. First of all, you have to order the numbers from least to greatest. So on this one, it'd be -6, -5, -4, -2, 4, and 13. And then we want the one in the middle for the median. So that means I'm going to cross off those. But when I do that, if I crossed off any more, I wouldn't have any left. So if you end up with 2 in the middle, because you have an even number of data values, then what you're going to do is find the mean of those 2. So add those 2 together, divide them by 2. And -6 divided by 2, a negative divided by a positive is a negative. That median is -3. Why don't you try 10b, see if you get it right. Here's my work. How's that match with yours? Okay, so we're going to find the mean, and since we're just adding integers, you are going to find the mean just by adding them in your head. But sometimes it's easier if you do just add all the negatives together, because then you're just adding them. So I'm going to separate the negatives here, the -6, the -4, the -5, and the -7. And add all those are the negatives. And then I'm going to add the positives together, the 13 and the 4. Okay, now when I add all these negatives together, 6 and 4 is 10, 5 and 7 is 12. I forgot one of the negatives there, didn't I? Let's see, which one did I forget? -6, -4, -2 I'm missing, so -2. But anyway, so these two add together nice, that's 10. 5 and 7 is 12, and 2 is 14, and 10 is -24. And 13 and 7 is 17. I'm going to add those up, and then we have to divide by how many numbers there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Divide that by 7. -24 plus 17 is -7. Divided by 7 is -1. All right, why don't you try that? So round up all your negative numbers, find the total of those, and then round up all your positive numbers, find the total of those, and then you're going to divide that by however many numbers there are. I think there's 9 of them. All right, give that a shot. Well, there's what I got. I hope I'm right. All right. So I think that's all we have for today. You just practice finding the data, averages, mean, modes, those kinds of things. And so good luck with that. And we'll talk to you soon.